Listen to me. This is Del K. Barrett. This is the real spiel. And I'm just going to tell you straight. Hood kids, that's not a thing anymore. Y'all need to stop. Hood kids are not a thing anymore, man. Hood kids. That's not a thing anymore. That's not a thing anymore. Let me tell you why. Because I don't care how raggedy your life is as a parent, as a grown adult. I don't care how raggedy it is. You know the difference of how to raise a child properly. I'm sorry, you've grown up, you might have had the Cosbys, you might have had different strokes, you might have had the Flintstones. I don't know what you got. I don't know. You might have had the Jetsons. You might have had All in the Family, Good Times. All right? What's happening? All them stuff. You should know how to grow some kids by now. Hood kids are not a thing anymore. And it's upset to me because I work with children and I'm just trying to figure out how these hood kids keep coming up. How you a hood kid in grade 1? How do you get enough time in life to be hood at 6? Can you tell me how? Can you tell me how this little demon and little demonettes are turning into hood kids at 6 years old, coming to school, tearing up the whole school at 6? How you terrorizing the school at 6 that they need to bring a giant Negro in here to deal with you because everybody's afraid of you? Listen to me. I'm not going to start with the black community first. That would be a stereotype. Let's start with these bad little children from the colonizer, okay? First of all, your kids are far too acquainted, right, with what's the word I want to use? Things they shouldn't doggone have. Knives and switchblades and guns. I had a kid sit down and explain to me his daddy's rack of guns. He could describe a gun. He was telling me of all the different guns his father owned, breaking it down to me. Now, his dad is an avid hunter, apparently. He likes to hunt big game, and kid knew everything. Kid knew all kind of stuff, knew all kind of weapons, knew all kind of knives, knew how to skin an animal. 7 years old. What? What are you growing these kids up to be? Crocodile Dundee? Tarzan? Like, what are you growing him up to be? Why does he have that information in his mind? What is going on here? All right? Little girls in the playground throwing hands like Oscar De La Hoya. How are you Oscar De La Hoya in the 3rd grade? Pigtails and can box like Oscar. Manny Pacquiao's little daughter out there. What the heck is going on with these? I don't know. Listen, I don't know what you parents are doing. I don't know if you think the educational system is so good that you don't have to do your part. I'm gonna move on to the black community now. I don't know how your kid is coming to school, listen to me, in $100 shoes, designer clothes, fresh haircut, 2 diamond earrings in his ear, and he still cannot conjugate a verb. He still has no self-control to sit down. He's jumping on desks. He don't have no decorum. He's cussing and swearing and carrying on. Knows every doggone dirty rap lyric you could possibly imagine. He's speaking them at the drop of a hat. These things should not be, baby. Normally, I walk into an environment and they see a giant in there and they cool out. Now, no, they don't cool out because they're used to it. I'm like, oh, you're used to hanging around dudes. It's weird when you see a little kid comfortable with adults and can talk in adult jargon, got his head all back, his neck all swole up, shoulders lifted. I'm like, listen, you weigh 60 pounds. Where are you going? What do you care? I don't gotta talk to you. Who you think you are, bro? Gang? Who you think you are, gang? What? What did you say? Listen to me. And the only problem with black parents are, black parents today are raising their children like white parents. When you come home, you're not gonna have any video game, and I'm gonna take that phone away. And I'm like, what? I'm listening. You gonna do what? I'm trying to say, whoop his ass. Whoop that ass. That's what you need to do. Beat that ass. Like, the mom's gonna be like, I'm gonna call your father. I'm like, yes. Yes. The school's like, no, don't call his father. His father's too strict. I'm like, what are you talking about? Call that black child's father. Call the dad. Call him. Call him. Don't call my daddy. Don't call my daddy. I'm like, I want to meet him. That's the father I want, because I'm going to tell him everything you do. Why are we still producing hood children? And this is something that I found out today. Joke's on me. Kids came to me and they're like, sir, how tall are you? I said 6'7". They're like, 6'7"? Didn't pay no mind. I was like, okay. Kids run out to me, hey, sir, how tall are you? 6'7". They're like, 6'7". I didn't pay no mind. And then the teacher's like, the next day she says, I think you might want to Google. I said, what am I Googling? She says, this 6'7" thing is like a song. So I'm looking it up here. Apparently, I don't know if it's connected with LaMelo Ball. I don't know, but it's a thing. So I'm running around telling kids my height, and they're singing songs running away from me. 6'7". I'm like, who put these little bad children in the world, God? Who where do you get these little children from? These little TikTok kids. These little kids raised on TikTok. Man, it's really hard being an adult these days. It is, because I mean, as an educator, I want them to bring back the strap. That's what I want. These kids need the strap. They need the strap, baby. That's what they need. You remember the strap? When you heard of a kid got the strap, you're thinking you're thinking he's dead. Oh, what happened to Johnny? He got the strap. Oh my gosh, he's gone. He must be gone. The strap. They had a leather strap in that office, boy. I don't know. I never got the strap because I was deadly afraid of hearing. When you just said the strap, people just got quiet. Oh, he got the strap. Damn, he got the strap. Now the strap is a gun, right? You strap on the gun. Man, it used to be the principal had the right to whoop that behind. And he could pull out the strap. That was the 70s. That was a good time. That was a good time. That was a good time to be an educator. That was a good time. Not now. You gotta let these little kids tear up a room. They can do anything. They can do anything. You can't touch them. You can't do anything. Kid's about to run into the middle of the street. They're like, oh, he's not committing any violence, so we can't. He's about to run out in the middle of the street, though. Oof. No, it's a lot. And I realized myself, you know, I got a 18-year-old daughter that I don't think anybody would take her off my hands. Nobody would take that child off my hands. And it's hard to raise kids these days. It's really hard. But at least when that kid goes to school, she's giving the teachers the best face. And when she comes home, she's showing me the real face. But some of these kids are reverse. You know, they go home and they become cute and nice and mommy, I missed you, mom, and you know, and you parents, you get suckered into that. Listen, and when I write home, because I'll be writing home, I'll be telling the parents, so this little kid, he needs his mouth washed out with soap. He is a cussing, swearing demon. I'm telling them the doggone truth. You don't like it, I don't care. Fire me. I'm gonna tell you this truth. I'm a text message. I want your mom's number, your dad's number, your uncle. I want somebody who's got discipline, authority in your life. I'll be like, yeah, this kid was terrible today. I don't care what they write to you. Let me tell you something. Yes, you got to talk to him because. And then you've got the older kids now that They've been parented wild, and they trying to come to school and parent the younger kids. Boy, I don't know what to tell you. But hood kids are not a thing. Statistically, and I can only speak to the demographic that I live in, North America, it has been admitted by the school boards in this region that they have unsuccessfully attempted to educate a generation of children. They saw the statistics, the so-called test scores. They saw the results of where these children and where these adults grew up and went on to do whatever they went on to do. And they realized they failed. They failed miserably. And they've said, you know what, we want solutions. First thing they started, they wanted black focused schools. Schools that were black focused. These Uncle Tom black people out here, they didn't want that. They're like, all right, I don't want to go back to segregation. I want my kid to come to school, and I want him to learn about English history and to learn about things that have nothing to do with his ethnicity. That's what you want him to learn about. As opposed to a school that would actually jar his attention by focusing history on things that were pertinent to where he came from, maybe. How about that? No. So I started there. Those didn't last very long. And then they want to give funding to anyone who would raise up a school or a curriculum that was focused. They were basically saying, take the money. We can't educate you. Just take the money. We said, nope, I don't want the money. Then they start hiring black men and women in particular superintendent roles. It didn't do anything. We're too far away from the problem, right? And last but not least, this generation that we have out here, they're saying that now black history has become a mandatory part of the curriculum. It's mandatory. I was like, fantastic. Where are you getting the curriculum from? Where are you getting, I don't care who teaches it, but where are you getting the curriculum from? Because according to you, black history started in the 1800s. Black history started when black people got on the Mayflower. Black history is only what happens in America. Only what happened in Nova Scotia. That's black history. Where are you getting the curriculum from? Because I was walking through the school, Catholic school, and I saw a beautiful picture of Jesus. They had crosses all around him, and he had on, a shawl hiding his private parts and over his shoulder. And Jesus had wonderful red hair like the Thor. I know Thor is kind of like blonde, but he had hair like Thor, but it was red. And he had a nice red beard, and he had lily white skin. And Jesus just looked. I said, oh, this is a fantastically horrible historical depiction of an Afro-Semitic man. And it's interesting because in the school, they're very sensitive to racism. They're very sensitive. And, black kids use the N-word, and it's like somebody scratching a chalkboard when a little black kid says the N-word. Stop that! I can't believe you've used that word. It's not a good word. Have you asked sir if he wants to be called that? Talking to me. I'm not a nigga. He ain't talking to me. He's talking to me. And the terminology, what the one of the leaders in the school the other day was like, I have conversations with colored children. I'm like, colored? Okay. I just sat back. I was like, oh. I wrote a note to one of the administrators, and I said, Afro Canadian kids of the diaspora and of the continent. And I continued my commentary from there. I'm sure all I got was a thumbs up, no reply. But I wanted to be clear. We are not colored. We are the Afro Canadians who are continental, and some of the diaspora, etc., etc. If you want to address us, let's get it right. Because if you don't know what to call us, how are you going to teach us curriculum of Black history? Come on, somebody talk to me. Somebody tell me how. How are you going to do that? Right? How are you going to do that? If you're not going to be, you got folks standing for land acknowledgments. Something I do not. Blood side of the stake. I almost cussed. The blood side of the stake will not stand for. I'm not standing for no doggone land acknowledgement. What am I standing for that for? An acknowledgement of land. We acknowledge that we have stolen the land of the Ojibwa people, and this school sits on their burial site, and we ain't giving it back, but we would just like to say every morning, we got your stuff, baby. We got your stuff, and we acknowledge that we're standing on it. That's a land acknowledgement? Listen. Give me a land acknowledgement. Look at me. Every time I walk in the room, I should get a land acknowledgement. A trumpet should blow. People should stand up. Here comes a king who defeated all the atrocities that was against his people. And he has risen up to be educated and to know himself. That's what should happen every time I walk in the doggone room. You want me to stand for a land acknowledgement? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Hey. And you get on every one of these little kids. Every one of these little kids is learning a European language. I could not believe it. I'm dealing with kids who have learning disabilities, behavioral problems, and they want to integrate them into classes. What's on the curriculum? Oh, he's taking Italian. He's taking, pardon me? Pardon me? He's taking Italian. For what? What is he taking Italian for? Oh, apparently Italian is like the second language. Second language of where? Of where? He shouldn't be taking French even. He barely knows English. What is he taking Italian for? What is that going to do? I lost my mind. I was like, Italian? I was like, scratch. We're not going to that class. Not with me. I'm not taking you to no doggone Italian class. I remember we were there. The Italian teacher comes in and he goes, oh, can I play? I go, you can play any game you want. Go ahead. Go play a game. Play a game for this entire class. What the heck are you taking Italian for? Oh my gosh. Can't call the boy his proper name. Can't even pronounce his name. They can't even pronounce the boy's name half the time. And they got him in Italian. They got him in French. They don't know what to do with him. The school is saying, don't call the father. Why not? Oh, the mother's trying to get custody. Why? So what? How's that have to do with? Are you crazy? Are you talking to a black man saying that the father, who has access to this child, who is the only disciplinarian in his life, when the principal, when the class, when the mom says, or the teacher, and the mom says, I'm about to call your father, don't call me that. And you're telling me, oh, we don't call the father. We don't call him. Why not? You know we have two parents, right? Oh, the mom's trying to get custody. That's not my business. I don't care what the mom's trying to get and not trying to get. I know that when I say, hey, don't make me call your dad, but he straightens up. So, who's creating the hood kids? Let me twist it around. The schools are. The school system's creating hood kids. Because you can't say nothing to them. You can't restrain them when they're doing nothing wrong. They're not facilitating the proper nuclear family constraints child should have. They're illiterate to the culture and the ethnicity of the child and the needs of the child. That's who's creating hood children. Hood children are being created in an ecosphere of irrelevance in the educational system. I'll tell you what, Donald Trump went and canceled all you, I almost cussed again. Donald Trump went and canceled all you suckers. So we don't need no doggone education. You know, I don't need you to educate my son and daughter. I don't. I really don't. I personally don't. Some of you guys might need that. I do not need you to do it. I do not need you to make them literate. I don't need you to make them smarter. In fact, the school system is making them dumber. I got to fight. As my kids get older, they're starting to fight the ideological principles that I've laid down for them. T.D. Jakes preached a message the other day on the backdrop of when his son was going away to university. He said, listen to me, before you go over there, I didn't send you over there to learn any of their nonsense. Don't forget who you are. That's right. Their whole life. This is the struggle of parenthood. The struggle of especially marginalized communities. I've got to fight against what the culture is telling my child he is and she is. First of all, imagine you saying that my child is educated, but they die of old age speaking a foreign tongue and never learn their indigenous voice, never learn their indigenous languages. You can't tell me I'm educated and I don't know the language of my ethnicity. I'm not educated. I'm a pet. If I go and I get a dog and I teach the dog how to stand on two legs and to serve me coffee, and the dog can speak English and French, and the dog goes to the toilet and when he uses the bathroom and sleeps on a bed, it says please and thank you, and it never barks. The dog never barks a day in his life. It's not a dog. It is not a dog. Flip that around. How can I be an Afro-Hamitic or Afro-Shemitic man and I never learned how to speak my language? I've never been educated. Education starts on the knowledge of who you are. That's where everybody starts. What's your name? Say Mufasa. Mufasa. Mafa. No, Mufasa. That's who you are. Kolaya. Kolaya. That's who you are. Kolaya. Dejata. Coco. Dejata. Coco. That's who you are. Oh. When you can spell your own name, that's where education starts. When you know who you are. Where are you from? Oh, my parents are from, and my dad is from here. That's when you know who you are. But they have to finish the story. Talk to some young black men. And I only take school contracts now where they're telling me I'm working with young black boys who are in marginalized. Oh, that's my thing, baby. Call me for that. Because that's my second gig. I got a regular gig, and it pays me enough money. But if you tell me, oh, we've got some kids here, man, they're right up your alley, and they're marginalized, and this and that, okay, I'm coming. I'll show up for that. No problem. I'll come. I get in there. Where you from? I'm from here. I'm from there. So, okay. My dad's from here. My dad's from here. I was born here. Okay, cool. Next day, I'm like, yeah, so African brothers like yourself. All right, sir, I told you I'm not African. Pardon me? Where you from? Because I'm from Jamaica. Where are Jamaicans from? Jamaica? No. Jamaicans ain't from Jamaica. Jamaicans from Africa. All right? Oh, yeah, that's true. All black people from Africa. Nope, stop. Nope. Black people from everywhere. We from everywhere. We are from everywhere. We're not just from one place. We're from everywhere. Understand that. You know, the white teacher looking at me like, what? We are from everywhere. Okay? We are indigenous to the entire world. We're indigenous to Australia. We're indigenous to Asia. We're indigenous to Africa. We're indigenous everywhere, Brad. We're not just from, but you come from a line of people that have ancestors that come from West Africa. You do, but we're from everywhere. We're not just from Africa. Looking around the room. Oh, can't mess with me. I'm about to go in there. I can't wait to go back in there and say, what do you think? I'm gonna talk to the principal. I go, what do you think about cultural accuracy? What do you think about cultural accuracy? Because it's a Christian school now. I want to hear what he says. Do you think we should be precise? Do you think that we should have wisdom and that we should be precise? Epignosis. You know the difference between Sophia, which is wisdom, and epignosis. Epignosis, another Greek word. It is the preciseness of knowledge. Well, Jesus was a Jew, Jesus was from the Middle East, and Jesus was from the tribe of Judah, and Jesus was an Israelite. Jesus didn't have red hair, blue eyes, white skin. What about that? That's too precise for you, though. You don't want to be that precise? I understand. It's too much, right? It's too much. Tell you, be culturally precise. Don't call these kids colored. Don't call them colored. Right? Don't even get so excited when they say the word nigga, because they're not that either. They're not that either. Don't get so excited. Don't even get that excited. Say, listen, would you like to actually know your culture and know why? Yeah, would you like to know? I mean, you call it, right now, you got everybody calling themselves nigga. That's why I'm using the word. Oh, that's such a terrible word to use. The word has nothing to do with me. That word has nothing to do with me as a black man. Nothing. Zero. I got Indian kids, Afghani kids, white kids. They all call themselves that. So how could that word have anything to do with me? Nothing to do with me. I don't even respond. I don't even get excited when the little boy. I've never been called so many names in my life in the few days I've been the Negroes. I've never been called so many doggone names in my life. But I don't respond to it. I just look at them. Look them right in their face. It's almost like when they see me, it's almost like a giant lion looking at you like, did you just bark at me, hyena? You wild dog? Come on now. You have a responsibility to change your environment around you. And we're raising hood kids. And it got to stop. It's got to stop. I'm going to say this last thing. I mean, everybody says it all the time, so I left it at the end. It's become a cliche, but it's not. The first things that children hear on a consistent basis are going to be the first things that pattern to their brain, come out of their mouth, and become part of their identity. As parents, and I don't care if you're a terrible parent, I don't care. Could be a terrible parent, could be a good parent, whatever. Do yourself a favor. Stop playing rap music to your children between the ages of 0 and 10 years old. Ban it in your house. Ban, especially the curse words, the negative. Just ban it in your house as much as you can. You're not going to be able to insulate them forever because they're going to hear it other places. But you need to, as much as possible, ban that music in your house. It is poison. It is poison for the culture. It is absolute poison. And these kids know every lyric, and they don't know. They can't speak. They can't write. They can't speak properly, but they know every one of those doggone lyrics. And they start manifesting the demons that assisted in the writing of those lyrics. The demons that are participant in the speaking of those lyrics. And the demons that are empowered by you being empowered by those lyrics. If you want to stop your kids from manifesting that hood behavior, stop feeding them a hood diet of hood music. Stop it quickly. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Give that poison to the colonizer. Don't keep it for yourself. It's not ours. I'm going to tell you right now, rap music no longer belongs to us. Let them have it. Let them take it. It's theirs. They created it. No. We sing it, but they created it because when we sing it, they promoted it. See, they were helping us with the poison. They were financing the poison. And so even though you think you are the orchestrator of it, black community, you didn't make it. They made it popular. You just espoused it and they publicized it. And now it's poison. Don't take your own poison. It's poison. Let them have it. Don't take it for yourself. That's all I got to say. This is Del K. Bridge, and this is the real spiel. It's the Shiloh Institute. No more hood kids. No more hood kids. Talk to you soon. Hey, let me see what y'all got to say. Reconnecting. Let me see here. Good afternoon. How are you, Carla? Shalom to everybody. Ma shalom ka. Oh, good. Hey, Daniel. Good to see you, man. We need you to rewrite the curriculum. I need to rewrite the curriculum. Chantel, what? What's going on, my girl? Achot. My sister. Not Sister Nagalia. Bless you. And to everybody who's out here hanging with us in the spiel, I appreciate everybody. And Boka Tov or Boko Aref. Bless you. We'll talk Boko Aref, not Boko Tov. It's evening. It's evening time now. It's not morning. Right? Erev Tov. Erev Tov. What am I saying? Erev Tov. Erev Tov. Bless you. We'll talk soon.